Hey, welcome to another Gator Sports Podcast. I've got a couple of scholar athletes who are lacrosse players here at Gateway College Prep. These guys are seniors, so we've seen them for the last time, but want to introduce them to you. So I've got Dom Halamara and I've got Michael Davis. Thanks for joining us, guys. And if I butchered your name, please correct it. All right, my first question is for Dom because I've been going to a lot of lacrosse matches, and you're in charge of face-offs. That's like the most important position, it seems to me, because if we don't win the face-off, they start with the ball and we're on defense right away.
Right. Yes,
How good are you?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say, I don't know. I don't like to put myself in that position saying like I'm better than everyone else, but achievements I have earned for the past 2 years, not including freshman year because that was with COVID. I was two-time All-State for a face-off. So
Unbelievable. So what percentage of face-offs do you win? Do you generally,
actually,
what
I
is
wish
that?
to be a little bit higher right now.
Oh, what is
I'm
it?
averaging around 65%, something
Pretty
like
good.
that. So
Yeah, great. And this is your last year to do it. So hopefully
sir.
we got another great face-off guy. And then Michael, you play defense.
I do, yes, sir.
But I didn't get to watch you as much this year because what happened? Explain that.
So we went up to Dallas. We had a game against Plano, and I was trying to intercept the shot, and my let's just say my right hand ate most of that shot. So,
ouch. Did you have the proper equipment on?
Well, so I did need a new pair of gloves. Coach did tell me that. So
Before the injury, he said, "Hey,
before the injury,
he said, Michael, you need a new pair of gloves, and
yes,
you didn't pay attention,
No,
and you broke your hand.
Broke my hand. Yeah,
and so Coach was probably right.
he was right. That's correct.
So you had to eat your words. Well, anyway, it's been fun to watch you guys. So on the face-off part of it, Dom, I noticed that if you're facing off with the same people pretty much throughout the game, and you're winning 60-some% of the face-offs, your opponent's got to be getting a little frustrated, aren't you? Isn't there some smack talk going on?
So, I mean, actually, so every time we go against anyone, I'm pretty close with most of the face-off guys in the area, so we're all buddies already. And we actually like to push each other. You know, we talk a little bit, but it's mainly just all fun and games, you know, and just normally it's them being cool, not really like chirping as much. They're just like, hey, like, you know, calm it down a little bit, stuff like that. So nothing crazy though. Yeah.
Nothing
we're
really.
Mainly
Nothing,
just
really?
buddies on that field. Yep.
Yeah, because there's a lot of scrapping and pushing and stuff going on. And, you know, after every goal, there's another face-off, right? It's just, okay, we're going to do it again. And it's pretty much the same people lining up. So tell us, Michael, when you guys started playing lacrosse?
So Dom and I actually started at the same time. We played in 4th grade. He was the one who actually was like, hey, you want to go play? And I was like, sure. So we started picking up the stick, and that's when it started.
Here at Gateway?
Yes, sir. Here at Gateway.
So how long you been at Gateway?
So I started 1st grade. So I went completely through the system almost.
Wow.
So
Unbelievable.
it's been a journey.
That is so cool. And what about you, Dom? How long have you been with this?
I came to Gateway when I was 4th grade, and that's also the same year I learned about lacrosse, actually. Like, that's the first time I've ever heard of lacrosse as being a thing. So
Really?
Yes, sir.
It's a really cool sport, man. I love lacrosse.
Yep.
So what did you like about it? You decided to give it a shot. What about you, Michael? What attracted you to lacrosse?
It just looked different. So I played basketball. And I was like, well, I wasn't very good. So I was like, let me see what this is about. So, and then as soon as I picked up that stick, I fell in love with the sport.
Really, that's great. Dom, when you look back at your years of lacrosse playing at Gateway, what's one of those moments that was a highlight for you?
Just a highlight, I would say just making those big plays with, you know, the guys that you're closest with. You know, that's the fun stuff, especially celebrating after each goal, whenever it's all pretty, just moving the ball quickly. That's one of the best ones.
Yeah. And how far did y'all go last year in the playoffs? Y'all got you went a little ways, didn't you?
We did.
Michael?
It was the first round. The first round.
Oh, you guys ran into TMI, right?
Yes,
Wasn't
sir.
it
Yes,
TMI?
sir,
Oh,
yeah.
that was a really good team. But they got moved up into another division, right?
They did,
So
yes,
we're
sir.
not running into them.
Class B.
Now we're recording this. You guys have finished the season part. You just started the playoffs. You just did district playoffs.
Sir.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, y'all came in 2nd place in your district after a playoff. And Vista Ridge came in 1st?
Yes, sir.
That's correct.
Okay. What's so good about them? How come you guys aren't 1st place? What?
I'll
Come
go
on,
ahead
let's
and
just.
explain that.
What?
In my opinion, Vista Ridge isn't really Vista Ridge at this point. They've been a bunch of schools just smashed into one. They
Yeah.
have a lot of depth now with athletes. And it's just not Vista Ridge anymore at this point. It's just different programs, just more depth.
Well, for
honestly.
people who don't know, they're watching podcasts. The lacrosse league is a little different than the UIL, which is what most of our sports play in the Texas UIL. And there's a somewhat fair way of deciding who your competition is in district. It's based on your high school enrollment, although the UIL still moves our charter school up to a higher classification. So we're playing even bigger schools. But you lacrosse guys, you're up against club teams that combine several large high schools.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've got 419 kids in our high school, grades 9 through 12. And some of these schools when they combine all of the schools together, they got 4,000 kids, right? So Vista Ridge is probably, so they're pooling from a lot more bodies, if you will. So really you guys are that competitive with them. I think you came within, what was you played them twice this year, both times. It wasn't a runaway. It was, the last, you just had them in a playoff game. What was the score there?
5-10. I would say 5-10.
I think it was 10-6.
6-6.
I'm looking at Coach over here. I was there. I was just there. It was a great match. I thought you guys did really well. So hopefully, now you've got Alamo Heights coming up.
Yes, sir.
And this may post afterwards. But what's the prospects for your game against Alamo Heights, Michael? What do you think?
We want to come out with that W. We think I know for a fact we can come together as a team and execute on all sides of the field. We don't have a weak link. We have the defenseman, we have the offense, we have the face-off. So it's our game to lose and our game to win. But we are committed and we really want this.
And that's up in Fort Worth.
Yes, sir.
You guys get to stay overnight, or you drive up that morning?
Overnight.
Yes, sir. Overnight. Oh, that's one of the perks of being a Gateway when you get in the playoffs, right? If you got to travel, let's get you some rest and go out there and beat those guys. So, Dom, talk a little bit about the academic part of it. How do you balance the academics to be college prepared with playing lacrosse?
Yeah, so I feel like Coach always talks about putting just your scholar part first amongst everything. And the way I balance it personally is, just whenever you have that free time in school, take advantage of it, because if you don't and you just slack off, you're going to start feeding more into that stuff and keep repeating that process. And soon enough, it'll become a habit and you'll find yourself in a hole that's going to be hard to dig out in the future, So just anytime you have free time, just use that up, get as much work done. And so afterwards, after a long day of lacrosse, because you're always going to have practice afterwards, you used to just relax and just start it off tomorrow again.
Yeah. Michael, do you feel like Gateway Prep prepared you for college?
I think so. That whole student-athlete dynamic was something that I definitely needed. And just the rigor of the courses as well. I feel like that actually prepared me for college. And there's so many opportunities at Gateway that you can use. For example, the AVID program, that's really helped me a lot. Stay organized and just really be the best student I can be.
Yeah. You got an idea where you want to go next year?
I will be attending Washington University in St. Louis.
Nice. Yeah. Do they have lacrosse? You think you can
They
play?
have club lacrosse, and I plan on playing.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's awesome. What about you, Dom? What are you going to be going?
So my plans after high school is I'm going to do ACC first for the first 2 years, and then transfer at Texas State. Yeah. And study marketing for that.
Yeah, there's I know a lot of kids that have been very successful going to like junior colleges first, and then finding the 4-year school they want to finish up, and it can actually save you some money too. So I guess you guys are prepared. I'll bet you are, being a Gateway. Yeah. When you look back for you, Michael, I'd ask Dom this, but what's kind of the most memorable moment for you? You go, man, that was awesome. I'll never forget that moment.
A lot of the guys talked about this in senior night. So it was last year, my junior year, we played Anderson. So they're a division. They're in B, we're in C. And it was overtime, 1-point game, and we pulled out and we got that win. So that moment after Mark Mazza did his little thing at X and then shot that ball, that felt like
that's pretty exciting.
a dream.
going to all the different sports at Gateway, we've had some good crowds for lacrosse. I mean, where it gets really excited, everybody shows up, and we're really into it. Some of the better crowds when you go to other club schools, football fields is where a lot of them play. They just don't have the attendance that we do. It seems like we've got a really good following. So you guys have helped create that by just having a really competitive program. It's fun to watch you. I'm really excited to see how far you guys go. Okay, this is really not sports or academic related, but here's my question for you, Dom. After this podcast, I'm going to give you $500 cash. What are you going to do with it?
Well, definitely what I normally do whenever I get my paycheck is save majority of it, as just savings. But 500, I would just use that as a savings fund, just have it with me for emergencies. I know
Really?
I'm being
You're
a
gonna
little bit of a
save it?
dad
Good
with
for
this,
you.
but I mean, that would be my smartest decision on what I do. I won't really spend it on anything dumb.
Interesting. What about you, Michael?
That's
What
going
would-
straight to college. We're,
Good for you.
Yeah,
You guys are,
there.
wow, what a couple of disciplined guys. Man, good students, good athletes, and they know how to save because this is the time to do it, right? When you're younger. And
Right.
everybody wants to spend, but later on in life, you're going to appreciate the discipline that you learned. And eventually, accumulate assets, accumulate your wealth will just grow and grow and grow by doing that. So just spend it now. So good for you guys. Well, listen, guys, thanks for joining us. Good luck the rest of the way. Hopefully you advance and go far in the playoffs. Can't wait to see you. Thanks for being a part of Gateway community. Go Gators.
Go Gators.
All right, I'm joined by Coach Disque, now lacrosse head coach. Coach, those are two outstanding young guys, Dom and Michael. What else can you tell us about? I bet they're a little bit shy and not telling us everything we probably should know. But
they're only shy on camera.
Oh, I know.
They're
I
not
know.
shy at practice. No, this is my first group that I've had all 4 years, and
That's right.
It's been absolutely amazing to work with all the seniors this year. These two won't let you know how good they are. Michael Davis last year was all conference or all district defenseman. Dom's been 2-year all state. He'll be 3-year all state when the voting gets done. Mike's an Eagle Scout, one of the top academic kids in his entire class, but he brushed over that. Minor things for him.
That's pretty cool.
And Dom is quite the entrepreneur himself. When he said he was getting $500, he is not saving any of that. That is a lie. What he does is he'll buy 5 or 6 pairs of shoes because he does the shoe game. I don't know.
He does look good in those shoes. Yeah,
I don't know
he gets
anything
some
about
different
it, but
colors.
he has his own website that he resells shoes on. He's already trying to turn over money at this age.
Well, I know. They both look really good out there on the field. I love to watch them play. They're all looking good and sharp, and it's pretty cool.
It's gonna be nice to
you've
see them
got a
all
gr-
playing again.
Yes. Well, I understand. I guess Michael's been out most of the year, so I had to hurt you.
Yeah. 4-year starter, 2-year captain. It's a big loss to not have back there as the go-to person on defense. He's
in
the
your
voice of the
senior
defense.
year. Yeah, it's a shame, but he gets to play at least one more game. Hopefully, many more because you got a
Hopefully
playoff
3.
game.
Hopefully 3 more games.
So it would take you 3 more games. So by the time they post this, if you did get through that first playoff weekend outside of district, now you're into what they call the state
Yeah, the state runners, right.
championships, I think,
Yep.
for Division III. Yeah. So then you go up to Fort Worth, which is May the 6th and the 7th, right?
Yes.
And then the following weekend would be what? Would that be the
State final.
state finals? So
and
there'd
that's
be-
in Capel. Capel's hosting us.
And those state finals will have 2 teams from or 4? 2 or 4?
It's just the 2 teams.
Just the 2 teams.
Yeah.
So if you get out of
final.
this,
Yeah.
so if you get out of this weekend and the following weekend, so by the time you watch this, folks, if these guys get past that weekend of May 6th and 7th, get behind them because then they're in a state championship match. Probably against, if you had to bet right now, who do you think it'd be?
I mean, it's hard to go against Vista Ridge there. I mean, they've been the number 1 ranked team in the state since the start of the year. They're the biggest, most athletic team in our Division III class. So
Yeah. Hey, you guys have been within 3 goals and 4 goals, I think, when the times you played them. Yeah, so you've been right
last
there.
game we didn't have a full roster, so it's going to be fun playing our first game this weekend with a full roster since the 2nd week of February. So getting healthy at the right time of year, that's a first for us because 2 years ago when we had a really strong run at the playoffs, our number one offensive player went down for the season right as playoffs started. So it was quite the reverse of this situation.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we guys might get on a roll. Now, if you did win the whole thing, are you automatically elevated to the next classification in the?
Yeah, that's it's kind of like relegation in the soccer world, where the highest team goes up and the worst team gets brought down. But it's not well regulated. We've had many discussions about our league being a little dysfunctional, but
Yeah. Yeah. Well, one of the things when I was watching the last playoff game, the in district playoff game you had against Vista Ridge this past weekend, I noticed that they had a lot of set plays that seemed to work really well. What is there a certain philosophy behind that? I mean, I may be misreading this, but they just seem to do some things in a really rigid way, and then we play a little different style. I know you've got some plays. I know that.
yeah, it's we were definitely more of a read and react offense.
Yeah.
And I think because they're so strong athletically, and they don't, they're athletes. They play multiple sports, so they're coming together for lacrosse season. That's a hard turnover to create an offense that's read and react. So they do kind of a play base, so that way everyone's on the same page right away. Because it's hard to be on the same page with a read and react offense if you're not playing together all the time.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I used to coach something like that in basketball as a read and react offense on offense, and yeah, there's certain rules about it, right?
Yeah. I mean, at this point, they all know it because it's been 4 years drilled in their head, so they know our motions of what. If you see this is where you go, and they do a really good job of it at this point.
Yeah.
Offense might have looked a little bit better last year. I think we got a little senioritis going on with these guys, but they're dialing it in. They're getting back into the groove again because we looked really good in the fall and haven't put together a great game in the spring.
Yeah. You had a lot of seniors at senior night. You had a lot of seniors, it seemed like. A little more than you've had in a while, or?
Yeah, year one, I had 0. So, and then year 2, we had 6. Year 3, it was just 3 of them. And then this year, we had 9 seniors.
So it's the biggest class you've had, that looked like. How's it look coming up? How are you feeling about the program in the years to come, Ryan?
We're only growing. That's the great thing. Like I said, year 1 with these guys, we had a total of 17 guys on the roster. This year, we had 54 guys on the roster.
That's so cool.
And they're the smallest class that I have right now with 9 graduating. I think we have around 14 in every class after this.
That. Yeah. So it's growing. Yeah, kids are getting excited about lacrosse at our school.
Yes.
I love it. It's a great sport. Well, Coach, we love what you're doing. It's exciting to watch. I love watching you guys. I think you look really cool in your green and orange and with those helmets. Those are awesome. You must get some compliments on just your.
We definitely do.
Everybody got to be jealous because we look really, really good. And when you play well too, it's just really awesome.
Yeah, and then this year they did the team gloves on top of it. So
yeah, very cool.
The one that I tried to talk Michael Davis into wearing.
Oh no! So you even had special gloves for him, and he wasn't wearing them. Oh well, hey, these things happen. Coach, we appreciate you coming on. Go Gators!
Go Gators!